All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. All right, some of you out there, you think that these aliens, that's what we should be focusing on. You know what I mean? But whenever I see an alien, I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's really going on here? Just yesterday, we got the list. All right, this is the list. This is it. This is everyone that was on the island. This is everyone that was hanging out. And it's funny, you know. No one's kicking down doors. No one's trying to find out where these people at. They're just all right, you know. I guess I don't know, man. You know, to me, it's funny. You know, Andrew Tate, they're busting him, got him locked up right now, just over some words, just over some allegations. But they're on the list. They're on the flight. The flight. What do you call it? The I don't know the official word for it, but. These guys are here. These are the court documents. This is who we got. Here's some prominent names I'm going to go through. We got Akon. We got Al Gore. We got Alec Baldwin, of course. We got Anderson Cooper, of course. Angelina Jolie. Anthony Kiedis of Red Hot Chili Peppers. Barack Obama, of course. Ben Affleck. Bernie.
Why do you say of course though?
Because you know these people are compromised. That's why. Ben Affleck, Bernie Sanders, of course, Beyonce, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. His wife even said it. No surprise there. Bob Saget, rest in peace. Bruce Willis, Celine Dion, Charles Barkley, Charlize Theron. I mean, this is like basically Chris Tucker, Cher. This is what, like every celebrity?
Chris Tucker as well.
Cindy Lauper.
Every big names.
Yeah, every big name. Courtney Cox, Courtney Love, Demi Moore, Dan Snyder. Like, we just keep going. David Spade, Drew Barrymore, Ed Buck. Who we got? I'm skipping a lot. George Clooney, Ghislaine Maxwell. Of course, Ghislaine Maxwell's on the list. I mean, why wouldn't she be? You know? Who else we got here? Gwen Stefani, no doubt. Hillary Clinton, of course.
No doubt as
no, the band.
No doubt.
Her okay. Band. Hillary Clinton, James Franco, James Gunn. We already heard about James Gunn, the parties that he would have, where he invite a whole bunch of little boys, and then we just act like, oh well, you know that didn't happen. They just forgot about that.
I heard about James Franco. But,
yeah,
okay.
James Franco harassing young actresses. Joe Biden, of course. Jimmy Kimmel.
You don't even remember that.
Remember what?
I think if you ask Joe Biden about that right now, he would pass a lie detector test.
Probably would. Of course, we got Jim Carrey. I knew Jim Carrey after he was going on stage acting crazy. We knew it was him. John Travolta. Who else we got? Kathy Griffin, of course. Katy Perry, of course. Kevin Spacey, we know. Lady Gaga. Madonna. Eminem. I knew Eminem was gone when he made. I knew it was Eminem when he made a Donald Trump diss track, right? But where's my Joe Biden diss track?
Okay.
Where's my Joe Biden diss track?
Is this factual or are
this
you
is
just
legit.
basing
This
things on whoever throw jabs on your guy?
Oh my!
No, I understand.
Look, my guy, like, this is official.
This
is the court case. They went through 2,000 pages to get these documents for you. Okay. I can't help it. I can't help it. That is those people. I can't help it. Okay. Okay, you got Naomi Campbell, supermodel back in the day. I know you guys remember her. Rihanna, of course. Who else we got? Oprah, we know. Paris Hilton, Patton Oswalt. Let me see. There's so many. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, they got him. Robert De Niro, Sarah Silverman, Seth Green, Jay-Z, Justin Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau was from the... What was it again? His name is from the
from Canada. You know Justin Trudeau. Tom Hanks.
From the NIS and NSA. That Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, the Prime Minister.
So no Donald Trump there?
No. Whoopi Goldberg, of course. Wanda Sykes, of course. No surprise.
Uh-huh.
Donald Trump, like people were trying to say, oh, Donald Trump was on there. Donald Trump got on his plane one time because it was convenient, because I guess he was in Florida and he needed to fly up to New York, and Jeffrey was like, yo, I got you, you can fly. And he was like, okay.
He couldn't convince him to be a part of it.
They didn't take a stop at the island. They just went straight to New York. But I
guess not everybody got recruited.
But Donald Trump seen what Jeffrey was doing, in Mar-a-Lago. He seen him, and he was like, he seen what he was doing, and he kicked him out. He said, yo, don't come back here. You're not welcome. I don't know, Angel. I mean, to me, this list shows you why you have a consensus on things like climate change, why you have a consensus on things like Ukraine, why there's a consensus that Joe Biden is legit and there's no questions asked and this dude is perfectly fit to lead. This is why you don't have a real discussion amongst the mainstream. You see all these celebrities, they all agree with each other. There's no real disagreements amongst them. They're all in line, because the moment they step out of line, this list comes into play. They're all compromised.
Justin Timberlake on it as well?
What was that?
Justin Timberlake, is he on it?
I don't know if he's on there.
I also realized that there's most of them are American, of course, but
yeah, I'm going through the J's. Justin Trudeau.
How about Michael Jackson?
Nah. They set him up too, man. That was a setup, okay? Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
Nah, that was a setup too.
Nah.
That was a setup.
Bill Cosby had his own thing going on. He doesn't.
Look, I'm telling you like this. When women are coming forth after what? 20, 30, 40 years? Throw that out.
Yeah, you think so?
If someone did something to you, why does it take you like 30 years to come forward and say something?
I have to disagree with that. I mean, I do understand your point of view, right? But
yeah. What's yours?
Sorry, my chair too low. I have to disagree with that. Nagain, do you disagree with that?
Yeah, as well. I mean, I do not come from such a past that I can say, okay, this is why people choose to, but I can imagine one being so traumatized, so embarrassed as well. Embarrassment is a big thing. To actually come forward to someone that actually made a big impact in one's life.
It's not just embarrassment, also fear. Like, what happens if you say something? What change in your life? Not just like the consequences of somebody getting back to you. But like, what is gonna change? How are people gonna see me? You know what I mean? Like, are they gonna believe me? Am I gonna be ridiculed? Yeah.
But let me
also being
now, Ed, it's not to take away from what you are saying.
Because I have a reason. I have a reason why there needs to be like a statute of limitations on this. Because look at this list here. Look at this list we're dealing with. That list is used to blackmail and control people. If something can happen to a woman 10 years ago and she can just hold on to it, matter of fact, justice isn't going to be done for her, because like, you could be an official, right? She could come to you, say, hey, such and so did this to me. You could say, okay, all right, he did that. Okay, we got the evidence. Yeah, you know what? Now I can use that to blackmail him. I can control him with that now. And you, as the woman, you don't get justice, because now I'm using that as control, leverage over somebody else. And the moment he steps out of line and I decide that I'm going to use this evidence against him, that's when you'll finally get justice. But if there's,
that could be a case,
Yeah.
but it's speaking from positions where people actually have the power to collect these individuals, to put it like that, want to come forward, and yeah, be in the right position for that. I mean, that's going to be a lot of coincidence, or it's going to be a lot of
and there's too many of these
deep
cases
research.
where the women come out, and it's usually, they're always lying, every time.
Okay.
I'm not saying every time a woman comes forward is lying. It's every time that like 5, 6, 10, 20 years, now she's saying something. It's lies. It's lies.
Nah.
Yes, things happen to women. Of course
it can be in cases. Yeah.
Of course it do. But it's too many.
In a lot of cases, of course.
It's-
and you know what?
It's too many of these big cases where these women are lying.
There's something to the Me Too situation. Once somebody comes out and you see the light, some people have no shame. I mean, okay, this person is getting attention. I want some of that as well.
Yeah.
And people will come out and lie. But I actually personally know people who didn't say nothing about situations they had until years later.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know what to.
Huh?
I say sorry. You better get over it.
Well, you know, and that doesn't make the situation any less important. That doesn't make it any less true. But moving on from that, Ed, I want you to do me a big favor, actually. Can you do me a favor and just in your mind real quick, make up a scenario like, okay, we in this jet, we get to this island, and what's going on down here? What are we going down there for? What happens? We get out of the thing, and how do he present us the situation and all these things?
You're
like,
saying
however
these people could have been tricked? Is that what you're saying? Like you just didn't know?
No. Just tell me what you think.
How do I get on the plane? Is my question. How do I even get on there?
So okay,
Donald Trump got on the plane. Just for example.
that's for example. Yes, that is actually a good example.
Jeffrey, where we going? Oh, to New York. Oh, okay, you got me. Okay, drop me off at New York. Now, if you say
okay, let's say somebody like Rihanna, for example, just real quick. Okay. Somebody like Rihanna, she travels a lot. She goes to islands a lot. She goes on vacations. She goes all around the world, and she enjoys doing this, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is factual, of course. I'm just throwing one scenario to throw another one in there. I wish you would have done what I asked you to do, but you know how you are. So let's move on. Maybe she went just to visit. Maybe she just went for curiosity. Maybe the idea was presented to her in such a way that...
Nobody stupid. These people knew who Jeffrey Epstein was the whole time.
I don't think necessarily everybody would know exactly what he was up to, because so many people actually knowing. Listen, you know what they say? When you commit a robbery between 3 people, somebody's gonna say something. You understand?
The issue with Jeffrey is that he's not working alone. Like he's a whole like government agent. He's got a whole like state behind him.
Agree with this.
Like, if you ask me how I think this is really working, I think you don't get to certain levels unless you do things. And one of those things that you had to do was go fly down to that island. I
agree with that.
So those people had a choice. Do you want to keep your career where it's at? Or do you want to move up to the next level? Well, if you want to move up to the next level, you got to go down to this island.
Okay.
I've heard people present that scenario where it's different things. Hey, you got to go in this room and do this or that, or you got to go to this meeting over here, and what's going to go on at that meeting, you ain't allowed to talk
about. Go to this party, go to this meeting, go do this, present yourself into that. Yes, we all have heard something of that sort.
Yeah.
But can you try what I told you?
That's why I said your situation doesn't make any sense, because the question is, how do I even end up on this plane? You're presenting this scenario that it was by mistake. It's not. It's not by mistake.
No. I'm not saying by mistake. I'm saying like, okay, let's say me, for example. I'm in the industry and I'm big and whatever, and I hear these parties that I wild and there's a lot of women and this and that. Not necessarily I know like what's going on. I go down there for the party. I go for this or I go for that. Now, grant you, like, I do believe that a lot of people would like just like indulge in whatever is actually going down, right? But that doesn't mean that every single person on that list actually did something that wasn't, you know, all the way through.
No, yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Names big enough. Names big enough. Like your Bill Gates on there. Come on.
Okay.
And his own wife said it. His own wife said it wasn't right.
I agree. Bill Gates. Okay, cool. There's a lot of other ones that I believe, they went through with it all the way through. But I just don't think maybe all of them did.
Okay.
And I wasn't there to confirm this or that. But could you do that so I can move on? Like, you want to do the scenario thing or not?
What?
So
that you just like somehow like appear on the planet?
So let's say we are at a party, man.
Yeah.
And you know, you approach me and you Epstein, right? How do you approach me? How do you convince me to get in your jet? Like, what's going on? What you think? How you think that goes down real quick?
I gave you one scenario.
Let's say Lito checks all of the boxes of the aforementioned and as in to participate.
Good addition.
I gave you one scenario where like you have to do it. Like okay, these people, it's not Jeffrey Epstein working by himself. These people are all connected. They will all come to you. It won't be Jeffrey Epstein on his own. You might be introduced to him by your manager. And your manager says, hey, go with him. It's not how you're making it out to be. That this guy's like tricking you or something.
No. But finally, we have this conversation. You and I link up. We see each other.
Yeah.
What's up?
I don't think he's tricking these people.
Doesn't matter. Nagayan is my manager. Nagayan introduced us. Like, just after that, what happens, man?
I don't know what happened. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? How do I convince you to get on the plane?
Just make a case scenario, man. Like any case scenario, how you think you present this idea, how you convince me, how you trick me.
I just told you. You could be convinced by all the people managing you that, hey, you need to go to this party. Make sure you do that. And do you want your career to go to the next level? Yeah? Okay, then just go with Epstein. That's one scenario.
And then I get on that plane, I get to the island, what happens?
From what I hear, these guys, they're just partying. They might do some rituals or whatever. The girls come out, they start massaging you, all type of stuff. One thing leads to another. The whole room is like bugged with cameras and everything else. You have your fun, then you just go home. But we got all the pictures, we got all the evidence. Now you can be controlled now. And when we need you, we'll contact you. And if you say no, hey, we can destroy your career now.
Okay. I'm saying all of this to say that I do believe that some of them are there for that, right? But how about somebody like Jay-Z and Rihanna? Is there any chance they would just go over there for like worshiping? Because there was a church there. How about, initiation for like a cult?
Yeah, the little girls, that was part of the service, okay?
Okay.
That's a whole different religion, okay, that they got over there.
Okay, so it's known. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce are like, I don't want to say it's known, like I've been there and I confirm it myself or anything, but everybody says, they are high ranking up there, right? So they go up there, there's a church, they doing what they have to do to get initiated, and maybe that's why they were doing those trips there, you know what I mean? Not necessarily for the other stuff. It's one thing. It's the stuff. Like, have one part where we just read the Bible, then the other part where we're like, got the little kids. Like, no, it's all the same thing. If there's some dark religion, that dark religion could involve little girls, bro. That's what I'm telling you. You agree with that? Like, whoever went for one thing went for the other as well?
I think depends on the subject, but indeed, if you're in for a pound, you're in for a...
Yeah, you got it. You got in for a penny, in for a
exactly.
pound.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that doesn't matter which trajectory or which part you were interested in as a person, they will have that over you, and doesn't matter what else is there's to it. That's all part of the same.
Yeah. Kanye was giving y'all game. Kanye was putting y'all onto the whole system. And like, unfortunately, Kanye got a little too crazy, but he was telling people how all this was done, man. Like he said, he was saying that, yo, I didn't kill nobody. I don't have any bodies on me. So I can come out here and speak and say whatever I want. He was referring to Jay-Z. That Jay-Z is pretty much a fed and he's compromised and they got all this dirt on Jay-Z. And Kanye was saying like, look, I'm clean. I ain't do none of this crazy stuff these people did.
Yeah. Okay. And
but they're obviously, to me, when you look at it, all these people are controlled assets. Because you can't tell me all these people from all these different walks of life, they all think and act the same way and support all the same things. That doesn't make sense. There has to be a cult. And you're looking at it.
So let's say not tricked, but you hear about these wild parties and all these things going on, and you can do whatever you want. Or doesn't matter, all the drugs you want, all these, and all the women you want, all these things, right? And you make it down there and you see what it really is, that these are not women, these are children. And you're like, oh, whoa. And you see what it is, and people are actually, like, at some point, at least I would feel disgusting at a certain point.
My thing is, you don't just wind up at that island. You know what it is before you even get there.
I'm aware, but maybe you don't believe it would be to that extent. Like, really, like, if I was to tell you, let's go, let's
go party.
Yeah.
Let's go party. There's no rules.
If I came up
We're
to you
gonna
and say,
get
yo,
wild.
Angel, this is what this dude does. That's what's going down. Don't go over there. And you gonna still go over there? Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I mean, if you trust somebody by his judgment, you say, okay, we like the same stuff, so let's go.
You never know how far somebody can go until they go that far. I mean, that's how I think.
Look, I'm not making an excuse for any of the people on that list. If that's what you're trying to do, they're all scumbags.
I'm not making an excuse for anything. And I don't have a certain person in mind. Like, it's just, I love Jim Carrey and stuff like that. But like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, maybe Jim Carrey went over there and he realized and he went home.
No, he didn't.
Like, that's not what I'm trying to say at all. But let's say, for example, if it was me, like I said, at a certain point, I would get like disgusted, and this is not for me. This is too much for me. I've done it before, and I don't get into no wild situations. It's just certain things are too much for me. I'm like, okay, I'm not into this. I'm out. I didn't think it would be like wild to this certain extent.
But don't you think that once you are in that situation, whichever situation,
somebody will.
That
most will.
Too far to in, you ended up on that island. So I think in that sense, I they will already have something over you that you are here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it doesn't matter which way you go, which you choose right or left. It's wrong. It's either way.
But that is exactly my point. You don't have to take it any farther. Just with your presence, with you being there, you already have done enough. But to me, at least, it makes it a little better to know that I know. I'm pretty sure at least one person like backed up. Oh, whoa, this is too much. I mean, I already put myself in this situation. I already did, this much or whatever. But I still believe in human beings. I don't think every single person that went down there indulged in every single activity that's going on there, okay? Yeah. And like I said, Nagayan, let's say you invite me to a party. Like, you remember, we used to go out and party and stuff like that. And you invite me to a party, and until we get to this party, I don't know how far you will go. You understand? Until you do what you do, I don't know. like this side of you necessarily or whatever. And when I see it, who is to say I will like it or I will be in agreement with this? Do you understand what I'm trying to put out there?
Yeah.
Not making excuses for nobody. It's just me thinking.
This is
some
not
things indeed.
Yeah. It's not a random
Things
party
that-
that just popped up. This has been going on for decades, where you take
Absolutely.
people in power and you compromise them so you can control them. I mean, you don't want a whole bunch of Kanye Wests going out here just free, just saying whatever they want. You can't have that. You can't have a bunch of Andrew Tates going out here waking people up. You can't have that. They tried to call him out to the island. He said, no, I'm not going out there. Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's why he locked up right now. He didn't go to the island. But I guess
I don't know about that, but yeah, I think we're done with this.
Yeah.
Nigga, you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
All right.
All right. Unidentified Podcast. We out. See you next time, guys.